So there is a direct correlation. This is what we feel like starting with. There is a direct correlation between ideas, being a genius, coming up with solutions for problems. There is a direct correlation between that and what we are teaching, this harmony with the knower and the feeler. If you are not receiving answers from HI, just the same as you would send a prompt to AI and you would expect a response. The same is true for HI. Higher intelligence, this is your birthright to know about, because it is your direct link to sort of like the mothership. This is all unspoken. These are all, you call them unconscious. They should not be unconscious. Unconscious simply means that they are out of your awareness because you're not aware. You haven't been taught. You haven't been trained in what things are. That's what it means. And so this is about training in how this actually works. How do you calibrate the human system and to connect back in with your own stream? There are very specific frequencies, and you can call it codes, but we don't want to confuse you and make up words that is so prevalent in the spiritual society nowadays. If you just give me 5 minutes, I will unlock your abundance and I will unlock your codes. And the only way that those things work is because they are getting your consciousness to focus in a certain way. It's your consciousness that's focusing. What we are suggesting is that you are learning, you are expanding your awareness to how it actually works so that you can utilize your focus and your human energy for the right purposes. You're not here to be sort of like fixated too much on the outside, although the outside will inform you about what's going on. That's what the outside does. The outside is a mirror of what you have going on. And so once you know the mechanisms and you start to bring it into habit, that you bring into habit a way of thinking and a way of being that is in harmony, that's when you start to receive more and more good ideas, more and more upliftment, more and more healing, upgrades. They happen automatically when the consciousness is in alignment with HI and there is drive forward, which is a natural occurrence once the human body is cleaned and cleansed of energetic disturbances. And these energetic disturbances, they are out of your own twisted perception of how you see reality and how your own consciousness is manifesting things. It's very interesting when you start to realize the truth of how this system works. And so we are talking about the knower and the feeler, but it's much deeper than this. It's not a conceptual thing. It's not an intellectual thing. then you're way too up in your head still. There is a particular sort of like an unlocking of your mental and your knower capacity that can only happen by walking your path here on earth. That is the ascension. It's not just in one go. It is, okay, now I experienced this person and I responded like this. That's why I dropped down in frequency, because I needed to redo that so that I really got the lesson, so then I could step up. It's not really a step down, but yes, it is. It can be step down and it can be step up, depending on how you know this game. If you know this game, you know that you can either go down or you can go up. And if you don't do anything, most likely you are heading down, or at the very least sideways. You're not heading your north, you're heading someone else's, which can be wonderful to be of support from someone else, but know that what you're supporting, at the very least. Know what it is that you're supporting. Know the consciousness. Know the beings that are operating that company, let's say, if you want to invest your finances into something. That goes for bread too. Bread and cookies, like what what do you want to support? Your finances is your support in the physical evidence of, yes, I support this. Yes. You know? It's very clear, because there is an action. Once the knower and the action, which is the feeler, are aligned, meaning you're not saying something and doing something else, you see? Once those two are aligned, meaning you say what you're doing, you do what you're saying, right? And in all areas of life. That means there is a lot of habits. Where are you doing that? Some people might think that they're being authentic because they don't have any other reference to what authenticity is. Whew. It's a lot. It helps a lot when we close our eyes, actually. It helps to focus. We're going to do that. Everything matters in consciousness, because everything trickles from your consciousness out. And so once you learn how to read your environment, you know what it is that you're working on improving. And this is what we're doing every single day here. These are these 28-day consciousness shift that we are training every single one to sort of unlearn all of the distortions of this system, so that we can finally break free from the shackles mentally of what has been, and we can finally move forward. It's only in the integration of seeing the truth that we can fully move forward. If we are too intellectualized, that is sort of like going a little bit off. It's what it is. These two needs to be in balance, because then you are receiving your That's what we're guiding you to. Your signal. Your version of this. Your version of this channeling. That is what every single one of you that starts to practice this will attain eventually. The more you start to be conscious about how this all works and what is naturally the next step for your body, not from your mind, not from your mind, but from your body. You have to read your body. You have to get good at reading energy, interpreting energy, not what you think and then you, right? And we know that this takes a while to make all of these shifts, but the sooner you get started, the sooner you can start to get on the right track. Because maybe you were going 45 degrees when you're supposed to go straight, 0 right there. And so once you start to learn the cycles and you start to move with the cycles and you start to adjust with the cycles and you start to do the right thing, it takes a little while to get a hang of this. Kenneth certainly has used a lot of time to get a hang of this. And he has failed many times, but he doesn't see it as failure. But in the beginning it felt a little bit like that. Why can't I just say that to this person in the moment? You know, it's these types of things. It's like getting the body, getting control over the body again. That you are the one in control. You are always the one in control. You are the only one that can actually make the changes in your body. And to get started, we would like to invite you to our Heya Live that we have once a week. This is a little taster session to align your system back in connection with higher intelligence. We're using breathing, breath holds, toning, and the holistic perspective, channeling, to guide the whole group back into connection with HI. You are blessed beyond what you think. You are so blessed. And you can manifest miracles in front of you. It is simply a training. What do you want to achieve? A very good indicator is what is not going right. How can you turn it around? That is a good start. There is a perspective shifts that is needed. You are blessed beings. We'll talk to you again next time. It's a little bit easier to we have noticed, to close the eyes, to be completely centered in with that stream. So we have decided to do it that way. It's also cleaner for us because then it's less distractions from the outside world. Yeah, simply we can do it, and we do it sometimes with eyes open as well, but yeah, as you know, but yeah, we're gonna try it this way a little bit now, because it helps us to be in the flow. It's really cool. All right, take care. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.